So realistically, what is the time frame that you can actually make the most money on trading today? That's an interesting question. That's a question I get all the time. And basically, let's first understand the characteristics of the four. So we all know that in forex trading, really in any type of trading areas in the market, there's going to be four different zones or time frames that you trade. And just real quick for those that don't know, one is going to be London session, one is going to be US, one is going to be Sydney, and one is going to be, I'll write it up here, Tokyo or Japan. So these are going to be the primary four different sessions. London is typically going to be your breakout session. That's where you see a whole lot of momentum, liquidity enter into the market. US, you're also going to see a bunch of liquidity and momentum enter to the market. And it could be just following through on London, or it could be for some reason London was uncharacteristically slow and US picks up. But either one of these, typically both of these, are going to be very high volume breakout or continuation sessions. Sydney, however, is going to have the lowest volume out of all sessions for the most part. So if you have a strategy where it is, say, mean reversion strategies, or a strategy where you don't want the market to move a lot, then Sydney's going to be your best friend. If you have a breakout strategy, then never trade in Sydney. And lastly, Tokyo. Tokyo is going to be that session that has less volume than the two major ones, which is London and US, but at the same time, it's going to be more than Sydney. So honestly, myself and a lot of traders, we don't even really look at Sydney as being a session, just because it's an awkward time. You're really only looking at London, US, or Tokyo. Perfect. So we understand the four different sessions, because that's the most important part, to understand the best time frame for you. But we also understand the characteristics. So again, London is that high volume breakout, lots of liquidity, London breakout session strategy, very high momentum strategy. US is basically a continuation of the London momentum for the most part, very high volume as well. And Tokyo, lower volume, but you can still see moves in it. So what is the best time frame for trading for you? And me personally, I remember I was having this question because I was trading every single session. I was waking up literally at 2 in the morning, US time, Eastern Standard Time, to get ready to trade London. I used to drink so much coffee. I used to have a pull-up bar that I used to do pull-ups on just to be able to stay up to trade London. I was trading US as well. I was trading Tokyo to see which one worked the best for my strategy. I was trading everything when I first started out, and even years into trading, just to find the best time frame for me, until I realized that there's no such thing as the best time frame. It doesn't exist. It's really what's the best time frame for you. And that's the most important thing. And once you understand that, everything else just falls into place. So I've seen so many people who have a profitable strategy that later turned it into a system, and the strategy wasn't the most profitable in the time frame they were trading, but when they switched the time frame, or when they switched the session that they're trading, that's when everything started to click for them. So what's the best one for you? To be able to understand this properly, we have to understand things like how much time. This marker's dying on me. All right, let's make it work. There you go. How much time do you have? Right? So do you have a job? Do you have a 9 to 5? Do you have kids to look after? Do you have a baby daddy causing you trouble? Like how much time do you have, right? And I'm joking on that last one, but no, seriously, like how much time do you have? Because based on the amount of time you have, that's going to determine how much time you can spend in the charts. And that's going to determine, what time frame you're going to trade on, or in other words, what session you're going to be looking at. So whether you're going to be trading London, Tokyo, US. So the time that you have makes a big play. Second is going to be your strategy. Because I know most people here do not have a system yet, because nobody teaches people to have a system. Everybody teaches a strategy. So I understand that everybody watching this has a strategy currently. Change that into a system as soon as possible. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the other videos. But what's your strategy? Is your strategy based on high momentum? Do you need the market to move big swings in your favor? If you do, then London or US session is going to be your best bet. If your strategy doesn't require fast price movements or big momentum shifts, then you may want to look at the Tokyo range. Furthermore, for the time that you have, when do you have that time? Are you available early in the morning, right? Before like 8 a.m.? Are you available between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.? Are you available just, I don't know, during noon, right? So all of these things are going to factor into what session is going to work best for you. And then going over a little bit. So we have time. How much time do you have? What time do you have available? We have strategy. What does your strategy actually entail for? And this is the last one. It's going to be the mental. What mental state are you able to trade in? Because London is high momentum, very fast paced. I don't recommend many people to trade London simply because you have to have high discipline mentally, emotionally, risk management, your strategy, everything really has to be tight with London. US has very high volume as well, but with US, there's already kind of volume that's been entered into the market. So if you're not trading US open, you're still going to have a lot of volume, but London is just volume on another level because it goes from being dead because of Tokyo session to just having huge amounts of volume because of London. And that's when you just see huge spikes in the market. So are you mentally able to trade the US session? Are you mentally able to trade the London session? Are you mentally able to trade Tokyo? A lot of people I know, they just want to stick to trading Tokyo because they know Tokyo moves slower. And mentally they're able to get into a trade and be fine with the trade, going in the open profit and loss they see because they're not going to see huge whipsaws in their P&L. So for many people, you may just want to stick to Tokyo session. It all depends on A, where does your strategy work best? Because some people don't make money in Tokyo, other people make the most money in London. If you have a breakout strategy, you're not going to make money in Tokyo most likely. You're going to make money in London or US. So where does your strategy work best? Time. How much time do you have? Where do you have your time? And mental, are you mentally able to do it? And if you're asking yourself, well, how do I know my strategy, which works well and what? RD, I don't have all this time to trade London. I don't want to be up at 3 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time in the US. I don't want to be up at midnight or 1 o'clock trading Tokyo. Like, how can I do this? It's very simple. RD is about to put you on game, as I always do. Go on TradingView, and in TradingView, you can actually test out your strategy and you can back test it if you get, I think, their premium version for like $14. And it will actually show you where every trade should be placed. And not just that, but it can show you that for as long as you want it to. And furthermore, it's going to tell you exactly how profitable your actual strategy is. And that's an excellent way to understand not just the time frame, but also understanding as well the different sessions when it comes to trading, if that makes sense. So look, now I want to go down to the last point, right? I wanted this video to be short, sweet, straight to the point. How to make that session work. Now understand, the video is titled The Best Time Frame for Trading. But we've been talking about session the whole time. And you're like, well, RD, did you make a mistake saying time frame instead of session? Absolutely not. RD doesn't make mistakes. I make mistakes, but not here. I don't make mistakes. Because when assessing the time frame, a lot of traders, for some reason, I was guilty of this early on until I corrected it. A lot of traders equate time frame with momentum and movement. What do I mean? A lot of traders think that something like, let's say, a 1-minute chart moves faster than a 30-minute chart. And that is further from the truth. That's so wrong. This is so incorrect. In reality, the 1-minute chart moves just as fast as the 30-minute chart. The only difference is you're seeing the 1-minute chart in intervals of 1 minute for every single candlestick. While a 30-minute chart is going to be intervals of 30 minutes. So it's going to look like it's moving faster, but in reality, it's not moving faster at all. So a lot of traders that I've seen, and just stay with me here, a lot of traders that I've seen have, strategies that may be a breakout session. So either a breakout strategy or just a high momentum strategy. They need price to move their direction. They need fast, quick, strong price moves. So they may go down to the 1-minute chart to trade it, or they may go down to the 3-minute chart or the 5-minute chart, right? And they may go down to all of these smaller time frames to trade because they want momentum, because they think that going down time frames means more momentum, more action, when you're getting the exact same on a higher time frame. It's just looking at it differently with different inputs. That's why the best time frame for trading is truly going to be the best session for trading, because once traders make the switch from thinking, okay, I need to trade the 3 minute because the 3 minute moves faster than the 5 minute and my strategy needs fast movements, instead of thinking like this, think, okay, I want fast movements. I know the London session and the open of the US provide me that. So instead of trying to trade a smaller time frame on a less active market or in times where the US has less momentum or volume, I would rather trade the high volume moments of the London and US session so that my strategy can benefit, instead of having the mindset that a lower time frame equals more volume momentum so my strategy can work well, instead of saying a different session is going to give me that effect. And I'm telling you now, and I know this sounds crazy, rewatch this video to understand it, but once you switch your mindset from what's the best time frame for trading to what is the best session, for trading, that's when things really start to shift, especially when we're talking about day trading. With swing trading, it's a little bit different. But with day trading, this is so true. Ask yourself the best session, look at the 4 characteristics of these 4 different sessions, and that's going to tell you exactly what you need. Because some people say, well, man, RD, I want to trade the 30-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, because I just want it to be slower, right, when I'm day trading. Well, if you're trading the 1-hour chart because you want it to be slower for your strategy, because your strategy works better in slower conditions, sure, why would you trade that on the London session, the most active session, or the US session? Instead, why don't you just trade maybe a 10-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, but trade it on the Sydney session? And that, in a sense, can give you the same effect as trading on a lower time frame in a more volatile market. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's the whole point of me putting time frame here and session here, because once you make that switch to, instead of asking yourself time frame and now asking yourself session, that's when everything makes a difference. So now here's the hot sauce part. I just stuttered like crazy. I'm excited. Here's the hot sauce part. And if you guys have been watching these videos, you understand we're big food people on this channel. And when we start talking about hot sauce, that is the most important thing in the video, because the food is made, the dinner is set, everything's on the table. Now it's time for the hot sauce so we can start eating. This is the part where we start eating. This is the meat and the potatoes. This is the most important part, is how to make that session work for you. Because it's not enough to just understand the characteristics of the 4 sessions. It's not enough to understand which one is best for you. Because you can understand, okay, London is high growth, high, fast moving, everything like that. Great. You can know that my strategy works best in that condition. You can say, hey, I have time during that, hours of the market for London, and mentally I'm able to trade it, sure, whatever. But none of that means anything if you actually go to trade this session with a strategy that's proven to work, but you don't make money. And I promise you, this happens to a lot of traders. Most traders are not, I promise you. So the idea becomes, how can we actually make that session work for us? And it's very simple. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but that's to just instill the most important parts of trading, is to be able to have a way that you are consistent, and flawlessly, it's probably not how you spell flawlessly, but it's consistent and flawlessly executing. What does this mean, right? Consistently and flawlessly executing. That is why you don't trade strategies in the market, but you need to trade systems. Because you can have a profitable strategy that works really well, but until you're able to consistently and flawlessly execute your strategy, you cannot make money. It's not possible. And if you make money, guess what? It's literally a lucky week. Well, RD, I've been profitable for 4 weeks in a row. I've been profitable for 6 months in a row. It's literally a lucky week. It's a lucky month. It's a lucky 5 months. Because that's just the reality. And I don't care how long your streak is with a strategy. It's truly, in my opinion, luck. Because you're betting on too many factors to win. What do I mean by that? The factors that you're betting on is not just, if we can write it down here. Does this work? Yeah, this works. The factors you're betting on is not just your strategy. I'm gonna just say strat, but it's also your strategy working, plus you working, plus say time. Do you have time to trade it or not? Are you consistent? And that's going to equal money. So understand how there's like three variables here. One is your strategy any good? This we can find out very simply just by back testing, sure. But the second one is you. And the you part is the main reason why just about everybody in the market is unprofitable. Because you have emotions, you have impatience, you overtrade, you hold a loser, and you sell a winner too quickly. You hesitate, you don't get into trades, you overtrade, you trade time frames you shouldn't trade, you trade sessions you shouldn't trade, you trade stuff you haven't back tested. You are the main reason why you don't make money. And that's just period at the end of the day. Because you have emotions. You're seeing that money go up and down. When I was trading, especially at the beginning, I was seeing that profit and loss going up and down, up and down, up and down. And guess what? I got emotional. And those emotions affect your trading. And guess what? Another one, time. You don't have time to trade. You have a job, you have kids to take care of, you go to school, you're in college. It doesn't matter what it is, you don't have time. And when you match all of these three things together, guess what? Your strategy has to be perfect. You emotionally have to be perfect in executing flawlessly and consistently. And time-wise, you have to always be there for the market. Because there's a statistic that if you missed like the 10 best days of the stock market, I think over the last like 20 years, I think your yearly return would go from, and don't quote me on this, but will go from like 9% a year down to like 3 or 4% a year. Just by missing 10 days out of the span of 20 years. Look it up. You're going to find very similar numbers to that. So when we're talking about time, it's not acceptable to miss a day here and there. Because remember, if you just missed the 10 best days, you're cutting your profit in half for the next, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000 days of trading. You have to be consistent. And when you have these three different things that have to line up for you to actually be profitable in the long term and not just be lucky when you make money or not just guess in the market, this becomes incredibly hard. And you quickly start to see why so many people just don't make money in the market, and they will never make money in the market. And whenever they do make money in the market, it's purely luck because the stars aligned and all three of these things just so happen to work out for them. That's why you need to make a system for your strategy. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not complicated. Because a system is allowing you to take a strategy that works. That's simple by backtesting. But taking you out the equation, taking the amount of time needed out the equation. So now, what's the only variable left? Is your strategy. And as long as your strategy makes money or has a profit factor that is above 1, if you don't know what profit factor is, watch the last video. It's super important. Then that, statistically speaking, makes money. And it's that simple. I didn't say easy, but I did say simple. And with a system, you use the strategy to create a system, you're able to consistently and flawlessly execute the market time and time again, day and day again. And the only variable that you need to make sure works is your strategy, and you know that from backtesting. So what is the best time frame for trading? Really, it depends on where does your strategy work best for, depending on the 4 characteristics. And once you find that, the way that you actually make that session work for you is taking that strategy and creating a system around that strategy so that's terrible time to stutter because I was building momentum, but it's all good. So that session that you're actually trading, you will make money in it. Now, if you want to know what a system is, if you want to learn how to create your system, look, I don't have anything to offer at this moment. I'm trying to create something because I'm used to teaching traders one-on-one in person. But I want to expand people's knowledge on systems so people can actually start being profitable in the market a simple way by just making a system. I'm trying to figure out what that'll look like. But look, if you're interested at all in learning a system, look, just join below. Nothing to offer at the moment, but whenever something is, look, I'll just definitely update the community. But create a system, start profiting in the market, leave the guesswork behind, And that really is the best time frame for trading. This is RD Trades, and I'm out, baby.